Samantha was a woman who lived alone in a modest apartment on the outskirts of the city. At 28, she had built a quiet routine: work, a few close friends, and long evenings spent with her laptop, where she immersed herself in freelance graphic design projects. The apartment was her sanctuary, the only place where she felt truly at peace after the chaos of the outside world. But over the past few weeks, something strange had been happening. It started subtly. Her laptop would suddenly log her out mid-use. At first, she blamed it on a glitch or a virus. She ran scans, updated software, even changed passwords. But the problem persisted. It happened late at night, always when she was alone. Each time she felt a flicker of unease, as though invisible eyes were watching her, but she shook off the feeling, telling herself she was just tired. One rainy evening, Samantha sat on her worn-out couch, wrapped in a blanket, her laptop balanced on her knees. She was working on a design deadline, the dim glow of the screen the only light in the room. Suddenly, the screen blinked, and she was logged out again. Irritated, she opened her desktop to restart her work, and that's when she noticed it. A new folder, titled "Look Closer," appeared on her desktop. She hadn't created it, and it was nowhere to be found before. Curiosity pried at her nerves. She hesitated, her fingers trembling as she clicked it open. Inside were dozens of video files, each time-stamped in real time, showing footage from inside her own apartment. The first few clips were benign: her empty living room, the flickering street lamp casting shadows through the window. But as she scrolled, the videos showed her. There she was, sitting on her couch, oblivious, captured by a hidden camera somewhere in her home. Her heart hammered in her chest. Who could have done this? Panic surged as she frantically searched the apartment, eyes scanning every corner, every nook. She found nothing, no obvious cameras, no devices. She wiped sweat from her brow, trying to steady her breathing. Suddenly, a noise came from the kitchen. Soft, almost imperceptible. She froze. The sound of a window sliding open. Cold dread swept over her as she realized someone was inside. She grabbed a kitchen knife, the metal cold and heavy in her hand, and crept towards the hallway. The air was thick with the scent of rain and something metallic: fear. The intruder moved silently, stepping into the living room, unaware that she was there. Samantha's breath hitched. The man was tall, wearing a dark hoodie, his face obscured by a mask. Her instincts screamed at her to run, but her legs felt like lead. She edged backward, then darted into her bedroom, slamming the door behind her. She locked it and pressed herself against it, trying to quiet her breathing. Tears burned her eyes as she fumbled for her phone. No signal. The man was inside her home, and she was trapped. Suddenly, the doorknob rattled violently. The man was trying to break in. Samantha's mind raced. What could she do? The window? It led to a fire escape, but it was several feet down, dangerous to jump. She could hear the muffled thuds of the man kicking the door, growing louder, more desperate. In a moment of panic, she scrambled to her closet and slipped behind a row of coats, curling into a tight ball. Her sobs were barely a whisper, her heart pounding so loudly she was sure he could hear it. The door splintered, cracks spider-webbing through the wood. Just as the door gave way, her phone buzzed. A text message popped up. "Did you get my messages? I'm outside." It was from an unknown number. Was someone else involved? Was this a setup? Samantha didn't know who to trust anymore. Suddenly, the man stepped into the room, flashlight sweeping the darkness. Samantha stayed perfectly still, silent, tears streaming down her face. The light paused right where she was hiding. He leaned down, whispering, "I know you're here." The voice was cold, void of mercy. Her breathing hitched. Then, just as he reached out, the bedroom window shattered, shards of glass spraying everywhere as a loud crash echoed through the apartment. The intruder's head snapped towards the noise, distracted. Seizing the moment, Samantha bolted from her hiding place. screaming as she ran out of the bedroom. She dashed through the hallway, blindly towards the front door. The man chased her, his footsteps thunderous, his breath ragged. She fumbled with the lock, fingers slick with sweat. Finally, it clicked open. She flung the door wide, slipping out into the rain-soaked hallway. The man was just behind her, grabbing at her coat, but she pulled free and sprinted down the stairs, her lungs burning, heart pounding like a war drum. As she reached the lobby, a figure appeared, a neighbor, drawn by the noise, holding a flashlight and keys. Samantha collapsed into their arms, sobbing uncontrollably, trembling from adrenaline and fear. The intruder stopped at the lobby entrance, disappearing into the night, but not before turning back and giving her a chilling smile. Police found a small device hidden behind a loose panel in Samantha's living room wall, the source of the videos. The man was never caught, but the sense of invasion never left her. Every creak of her apartment, every shadow in the corner of her eye, became a tormenting reminder. The most terrifying part? Samantha later discovered that the unknown number texting her was traced to a burner phone left in her mailbox, locked and untouched. Someone was inside her home all along, watching, waiting, and ready to strike. But how deep did this nightmare go? Was the intruder still lurking just beyond her sight? And sometimes late at night, when the wind howled and the rain tapped relentlessly against the windows, Samantha could swear she saw a shadow move across the room, too swift, too silent, just out of reach. If you enjoyed this chilling story and want to hear more spine-tingling tales that keep you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And remember, sometimes the scariest things are the ones lurking just beyond what we can see. Until next time, stay safe and stay vigilant.